everyone, this is Mary Dooley. This is my very first video that I've ever done, so pardon me if it's not perfect. I just wanted to show you my Halloween album that I just made, my journal that I just made. I'm so excited about it. I have had a love for Halloween, all things Halloween, for a very long time. I used to be I still am a quilter, but I used to make all kinds of Halloween quilts, and now I've graduated my love for Halloween to art and junk journals. I was inspired by this wonderful book I found in half-price books called Edgar Allan Poe book. And this book, this journal that I made is loosely based on it. It had some wonderful pages in here and pictures of his home and family members and people who were influential in his life. And of course, it had lots of photographs of his different stories and things. The other thing that it had was some great ephemera in envelopes tucked into the pages. And I scanned all of these, and some of them I used, some of them I tore up and used, but I saved all the originals, so I'll always be able to do an Edgar Allan Poe book again. So that's sort of how it was loosely based, but there's a lot of other stuff in here too. I made it with using 2 cardboard pieces for the front and a cardboard piece for the back. It measures 9 inches by 6 1/4 inches by 2 1/4 inches. It has 3 signatures, and it's sewed in with a 5-stitch pamphlet stitch. Has some charms on the back, some metal embellishments. This was a brad. This was from a bracelet. This is Tim Holtz gears. It has an embellished or embossed cat here from a stamp, metal book edges. The back part, this polka dot is actually fabric, because and then Mod Podge or matte mediumed on top of it makes it feel like leather. And then this is all collaged and matte medium over the top of it to make it feel nice and smooth and durable. On the inside, I covered the inside with paper, and I placed this ribbon, this gross grain ribbon, across the top of the paper, and then stuck a paper strip across the top of it. So it lies underneath this paper strip in front of this paper. I then poked a hole in the spine to have it come out here, so you can see the gross grain ribbon coming out there. And then it is underneath another piece of paper along the back, along the front, and then I poked a hole in the edge. And the reason I did this is because it needed to have good strength to be able to close. So it comes out of a keyhole embellishment here on the front. It just comes out of a hole in the back that I just did a Sharpie marker around. And then of course it ties like a ribbon closed. So that's sort of how I made the basic construction of it. Each, on the inside cover, I made some tags, and the tags this tag has some paper ruffle that I made, an ephemera, some journaling on the back with a little bead bobble, and this is hand-dyed seam ribbon, seam tape. This has a tag as well with some muslin on the front of it with some different ephemera, journaling space on the back. Each of these are craft envelopes that I collaged some napkins on top of with the matte medium. And another tuck spot with a journaling card, a little metal embellishment there, some more tags made out of, I just had a collection of different scrapbooking paper, so I used lots of different scrapbooking sets for this album. Here's the first picture of Edgar Allan Poe, and this is when he was fairly young. This is a stamp on top of a piece of muslin, and then put metal brads in there. This is just a mixed media spread that I did with some ink sprays and India ink blots. And then I put these darling digital downloads from Lisa's Altered Art. I love her witches and the different positions that she has her witches in. So I use a lot of Lisa's Altered Art in this, along with some stickers and things that came from digital downloads from my Porch Prints. And I also used some digital downloads from Magic Pug. So those are the three that I remember that I used. There is some washi tape here, a stamp. I had tucked in a smaller envelope. This is Lisa's Altered Art with some butterfly wings. And then this is just cut out from a scrapbooking paper, tucked into a spot there. I have another little journal card with a binder clip. This is fabric that is glued onto an envelope that I stuck, that is a fold out. And this is scrapbooking paper with some butterflies coming out of this little box here, and with a little tuck spot and journaling space. I'm not much of a journaler, so I'm not sure if I'll actually use this for journaling, but I thought I'd give it a try. And some more journal pages here with another Halloween Carnival poster. This is a ruffle that I made on the sewing machine. This is just an eerie, spooky picture of a guy named Daniel Webster. I don't know who that is, but I had just stuck it into a box of ephemera for Halloween and decided to use it for my journal here. And now I have some more tags with a witch from Lisa's Altered Art and room for on the back. And then some more ephemera glued to this tag with room for journaling on the back. The inside of my first signature, the middle of it, it has these darling photographs that were actually in a catalog for Olive & Coco, which is a company that does gift baskets for clients and client gifts. And they always have the best artwork in their catalog. I love their catalog. I always look forward to getting it. It has some braid around this photograph. This has rickrack and a button. This is a paper clip on the inside of that. Here's another tuck spot. This is more information about Daniel Webster and how he was such a foreboding person, whoever he was, very sinister. This is a charm and journaling spot. And here's another paper clip, covered paper clip with a collage. Most of this came from the My Porch Prints digital download. It has a little tab here. This is a fabric tab. And then this also has on the back of it a little charm of a haunted house and some more journaling and tags and places to write. This envelope was sewn into the signature, but it ended up crooked. So I ended up collaging some more paper on the top of it to kind of hide the fact that it was crooked. And I put a journal card in here, but as you can see, the journal card had to be crooked in order to line up right inside the envelope. So kind of funky, but that's what Halloween is all about. And another witch from Lisa's Altered Art. This is some more digital downloads from my Porch Prints. And some scrapbooking paper. This is from Lisa's Altered Art. And then just some punched out butterflies that I did. Here's a journaling spot with some washi tape and a sticker from the scrapbook sets. And then this is a picture of, it's an engraving of The Murders of Rue Morgue, which is a story that Edgar Allan Poe did. And I have such fond memories of getting together with my girlfriend on the Friday night movie nights that they played the Phantom of the Rue Morgue. We would always have a sleepover and scare ourselves to death. It was an old black and white film, and I don't know if some of you remember it, but we always loved to scare each other with that movie. Here's a movie or a picture of the descent into the maelstrom, which is another story written by Edgar Allan Poe. Here's a witch from Lisa's Altered Art that I added some butterfly wings. I put it on top of some scrapbooking paper that has lettering and stamped, and then India ink on it just to kind of grunge it up, make it look spooky. And that's the end of the first signature. My second signature starts with a picture cut out, actually torn out from the Olive and Cocoa catalog. The artwork in this is so fun. The first page comes with collage scrapbooking paper with a trim there and some journaling tags. And this is a fold out with a tag that I made with some beads fastened to it with some journaling spot on the back, although I'm not sure how you're going to write on it with the beads in the back, but oh well. This is a little piece of ephemera from a Tim Holtz package and a jewel here. Open it up and there's a doily with a sticker and another journaling card from some scrapbooking package that I had. It's a real mishmash of the different scrapbooking. Here's another journaling tag with a Halloween invitation on the back. This is a little banner that I just made with some fabric cutouts and a fabric cutout of some lace. And then this is collaged with matte medium from a napkin, a Halloween napkin. And now this is a journaling spot with a stamp and some trim from one of the scrapbooking stickers pages that I had. This is a picture of the Raven, Edgar Allan Poe story with a tab. And here's a journaling card that I stuck into this tuck spot here that's decorated with fabric and 3 black buttons. The card is collaged with different paper and then collaged with a skull from a napkin. This is from the Magic Pug digital downloads, and you might recognize some of these are from the Tim Holtz ephemera package. And then I stuck in between the two papers that I put the back for journaling. I stuck this little gear from Tim Holtz into this, and then I poked a hole through one of the holes and put an eyelet through it so that I could tie this ribbon and also add these couple little bangles with some beads and charms. And I think that turned out really cool. I'm really happy with that one. Inside the signature, I did some tracing paper. I'd never done that before. I love the sound of it. I just stamped with distress ink through a spider web stencil there, and I added this washi tape on the bottom to keep the page from tearing when you turn it. This is a collage that I did with a napkin and a Tim Holtz paper doll, and there's burlap, and this is cut out from paper. And this page is from the book, and it talks about Nevermore, and I put a paper ribbon down here from Halloween paper, and this is an early picture of Edgar Allan Poe. I just added some alcohol ink drops on here and put his name on top of a piece of fabric on this paper, and then added a tag. The next picture is a lithograph illustration of the raven. So I kept that and put a little tuck spot in here with the tracing paper that I had put in. I just folded it over. This is paper, this is lace, and this is a paper clip covered with paper. And here's another journaling card that I inked around. This is just a fabric strip for the ribbon. And then on this side is another collage with a napkin, scrapbooking paper, Lisa's Altered Art. And this is a piece of art that I got from the Halloween Charm Swap. My person Lori gave it to me, and I just love it. So I used it in here. I put some brads and some ribbon here around it as a frame. This is a weird picture that I had tucked into my Halloween ephemera. So I added that as part of the signature. And this is from the Magic Pug digital download. This little envelope is so fun because I put the gears on as actually on top of the little circles that you close up the envelope with. Covered the envelope with scrapbooking paper, and then on the inside there's a journaling card here, and some of you might recognize the Steampunk Spells scrapbooking paper there. I just loved that graphic 45 set. Wish it never would have gone away, but I know they have to renew stuff, but I loved it. I bought up as much as I could. This is just a doily with a Lisa's Altered Art witch on the front of it, a journaling space with some fabric ribbon there, trim, and a Lisa's Altered Art on top of a Magic Pug digital download. Here's a tag that I did with, again, some more Porch Print downloads, a little bulb pin with a key and some beads. This is, again, my own dyed seam tape, and the journaling spot in the back. I cut this picture. This is the face of Edgar Allan Poe's foster mother, who he lived with for a long time, and just kind of put it on a funky little walking in front of some houses with some paper houses here that I had cut out from digital downloads and from scrapbooking paper, and did some Delusion spray in the background and just grunged it up with Stabilo and that kind of stuff. And this is the end of the second signature with a ribbon around the digital download there, a little picture, and a Halloween card on the inside with some room for journaling. And then on the very back is another card for journaling. And the final third signature starts with with paper from a scrapbooking set, and on the inside we find another journaling card tucked into a fabric pocket. And here's another tag that I made with ephemera and stamping, put some washi tape on the back for journaling, and a little tuck spot here with a little tab and a charm. The background I just painted with some distress paints and acrylics. And then there's a tuck spot here with a fabric or a paper ribbon that I made. And here is a card that I made using a napkin from Lori, my Charm Swap partner. And she also sent me some Day of the Dead washi tape that I put on the inside there. And then I just used some eyelets to put on either side of the card, because I realized that if I put the card in so that you pull out the fold, it would have been backwards. So this way you've got your little bow here that you can pull on to get the card out, and it tucks right in there. This is collaged napkin. And here's another tuck spot with a tag that I made with a butterfly from a digital download. This is just a sticker from the scrapbooking paper set. And here's another cute little guy from Lisa's Altered Art. A tag here with a cute bead and gear. This is a tuck pocket, corner tuck pocket with a Halloween party invitation and a place for journaling. And this is a cute cutout from that Cocoa and Olive catalog again, Masquerade Party. Here's another piece of tracing paper that I did a stamp on, and then I put this funky kind of textured ribbon on it. It's like velvet, but it's rougher than velvet. And then I did a zigzag cut on the side of that paper. Here is a picture from the book, an illustration of Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Stories, and just put it on top of some music paper and added a tab. Here's a collage with mostly my Porch Prints collage digital downloads plus Lisa's Altered Art. And I made a tuck spot here with a fabric braid. And this came with my charm from my Charm Swap from Lori. And I just loved the art that she included with it. So, and I thought it fit right into the journal. So I went ahead and I put it in my own journal. This is a witch doll that was in the Olive and Cocoa catalog, and some more digital downloads there with a it's almost like a jute trim there that I stuck in between the pages and then added it around the picture of Edgar Allan Poe. This is one of the most famous photographs of him. And more mention of the murders in the Rue Morgue from the pages of the book. And I put a little bauble on a paper clip tab there. And then this is also a cutout from that Olive and Cocoa catalog, and I just thought they were so spooky and grungy that I wanted to put them in. I added this lace that Lori had given me in our Charm Swap, and I put it on top of an envelope that had been tucked in, and I didn't end up opening up the envelope to make it a tuck spot. I just decided that the book was getting too full of things, so I started kind of not using everything that I could possibly have used. This is a purple fabric glued onto the envelope, and then I dyed some cheesecloth with Rit dye and started using that in here too. Now this is a photograph of Edgar Allan Poe's sister, who it says Rosalie, who lived to an old age but remained childish her whole life. So anyway, here's a paperclip tab and another piece of artwork that Lori sent me with the Charm Swap. I just thought it was so beautiful and so eerie. Perfect for my journal. So thank you very much, Lori. And this is a ribbon that I placed in between the two pages. I put some brads in here for the pocket. And this is a piece of fabric that I found at Joann's that I loved. So I cut it out and put it on top of some black burlap and frayed the edges. This is the back side of that paper clip thing. I actually put the boo upside down, so oh well. Here's another cutout from the Olive and Cocoa magazine on tracing paper, and then I glued a double-sided piece of scrapbooking paper onto the other side so it peeked through. And I just used a glue stick to glue it down, so that worked out really well, and then I did some distress stamping along the edges. I put some cheesecloth and an October piece of ephemera there, washi tape here, and I love this little collage piece I did. This is from the Olive and Cocoa magazine. I cut it out, and I cut out some eyes and a nose from a witch that they had in the catalog, and I put it over on top of the jack-o'-lantern face, and then I added my own legs that I had cut out from some other collage project that I was doing. This is a little photograph that came from Lori's swap, and then I put a bulb pin with some charms and beads there on that side. And then this also has a piece of art from the Olive and Cocoa magazine. It says, "Set the scene for mystery and wonder." And here is a tag that from Lisa, the little boy from Lisa's Altered Art, and the feathers of cherub wings from the Magic Pug, and it also has on the back, although you're not going to be able to journal on top of that. Some ephemera from Tim Holtz. This is a Mod Podge transfer I did off of the picture of a poster of the movie for Spirits of the Dead, which was a trilogy of Edgar Allan Poe's stories that Bridget Bardot was in. Jane Fonda was in it as well, and Peter Fonda. So the transfer, the Mod Podge transfer turned out pretty well, but there are places where I didn't quite get all the paper rubbed off of it, so it's a little bit cloudy. But that was the first time I'd ever tried that, and that was really fun, and it's transparent once you take the paper off the back of it, and then you glue it down onto some scrapbooking paper, which happened to be this grid checkerboard paper. This is Edgar Allan Poe's picture on top of some kind of weird gold fabric that I actually burned the edges around so that it wouldn't fray. And on top of a piece of ephemera here is another piece of cheesecloth. I really like the cheesecloth. You can tell I keep using it. Here is a fabric flap that I did with some ghosts underneath from Lori's art that she sent me. And I made a tuck spot here, but it doesn't work very well. And so I ended up adding this paper clip to keep it down. Here's another doll from the Olive and Cocoa magazine that I scrunched up and then collaged down, put some trim around it. Here's a photograph of Edgar Allan Poe's, it's an engraving of him. And here is a photograph of Edgar Allan Poe's grave in Baltimore, Maryland. So, and that's the end. Oh, final is one of my favorite. It's this tag that I made, again with a doll from the Olive and Cocoa magazine with some lace from Lori and just collaged onto this card, and I just love the way this one turned out. It's very vintage looking. On the back is another photograph from Lori's art with some ephemera and some washi tape for a journaling card, and it pokes down into this funky little, it's kind of vinyl. I think it's fake, supposed to be like fake leather quilted. It's kind of cool fabric, and I just zigzagged around it, made a pocket of it. And that is my Halloween journal. I am so happy with it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments below, and I will attempt posting this on YouTube for the very first time. Have a great day and have a safe and spooky Halloween. Bye for now.